Have you ever felt like no one cares about your videos, like you're not credible enough to be teaching, and the more you try to grow, the more stuck you feel? Well, that's exactly where I was a few weeks ago, and I almost quit. But instead of giving up, I ended up creating a system that's helped me to completely rewire how I think about my value as a creator, and it's even helped me to get back to making videos, and now it's helping the other creators that I work with too. Oh, and if you want a copy of this doc to map out this system for yourself, then you can grab it for free down below. It's just going to help you to apply what we're going to go through in this video in your own words. So what exactly is this trap? Well, I call it the credibility trap. It's when you feel like you can't talk until you've made it, but you can't make it because you're not talking. So to escape it, I created a simple 3-part system that helped me to get my momentum back, and I call it the 3R system. This is where you reframe yourself, reposition what you know, and restructure your content or offer. But before we break down each one, I want to show you something that flipped my mindset more than anything. So every person that starts off learning a skill always starts off as a beginner. And lots of different places where they see highs, they see lows, but it's a complete mess, especially at this beginning stage. Actually, it gets a little bit messy from the start, so I'll add that in here. But what you have to realize is that you yourself as a creator, as someone who's teaching people about a skill, are actually already here. So there's this gap between yourself and the person that you're trying to teach. And what you need to understand is that this person right here needs your help because they want to get to where you are right now. And I'm going to add in this extra bit because this is where we're heading. This is our goal. And if you're wondering, that is a trophy. I'll put a number 1 on it as well. But because we want to get here, the person that we're teaching also wants to get to that same goal as well. But that puts us in a prime position as a creator because it means we're at least 1, 2, 3 steps ahead of this person that we're trying to teach. So they're going to see our content and our offer as more valuable because it's going to help them get to that goal faster. But the thing is, you're always going to be growing regardless because you're going to be learning from the people that you're teaching. But all you need to know is that your audience is not where you are right now. They're way behind. They're trying to figure out the things that you've already figured out. And their path is messy, chaotic, and filled with setbacks. And you're in a position where you're a few steps ahead, already walking where they want to be. They need someone who's just ahead, someone that they can trust. Because 1, you've been where they are right now. And 2, you're not going to give up on them anytime soon because you're trying to reach that same goal. And the good thing about it is that when they catch up, you're going to be further ahead because that's just how it works. You grow with them. But before I show you how to actually use this system, I want to make something really clear. The reason you feel stuck right now is not because you're lazy or unqualified or not good enough. It's because no one's taught you how to value what you already know, which means you're most likely building in silence, you're posting videos with low views or views not from the right people. You're comparing yourself to creators with large teams and 7-figure revenue. And worst of all, you start to think, no one actually wants what I have. Why am I even doing this? What's the point? I was there a month ago, like fully burned out, doubting everything, the content, the business, the newsletter, whether people actually wanted to watch my videos. But that's when I came up with this system that turned all of that around. Okay, so the first system of the credibility trap is a weak belief in yourself and the knowledge that you have. And to fix that, we have to take a look at the first R, which is to reframe yourself. Now, there are 3 types of creators that get stuck in the credibility trap. You've got the beginner, who's just starting out, they're unsure what skill to teach, or even if they have a skill to teach. Then you've got the intermediate, who already knows their skill, but they're constantly comparing themselves to people who are 10 steps ahead. Then you've got the expert, who's seasoned in their skill. They already know a lot about it. They know about the challenges that people are going to face, but they're suffering with curse of knowledge bias, where they think that everyone already knows about this, so what's the point in teaching it? And I've been in all 3 for different types of things, and I can tell you that it's completely normal to feel like that you don't have anything valuable to share, but it's not true. About a month ago, before recording this video, I spiraled, and I genuinely believed that I had nothing left to offer. My motivation to create completely collapsed, but instead of quitting, I literally grabbed my whiteboard pen, ran to my whiteboard, and wrote down from a top-down perspective the things that I thought about myself, the things that I thought about my knowledge, and the things that I thought about my content and my offer. And I realised something. Reframing is just about how you see yourself. If you see yourself as an imposter, then your content is going to reflect that. If you don't think that you're worth listening to, then that's just going to translate in your videos. But if you see yourself as a guide, someone who's just a few steps ahead, then your content is going to come across that way. Now, there are 3 common disbeliefs that you can face when you're building a YouTube business and teaching others how to grow in a skill. You've got, I'm not an expert. You might think no one cares. And then, I don't know that much about my skill. But all you need to do when you have a false belief about yourself is literally just reframe it and write down the exact opposite of what you've just written down. Then you begin to live out your life with that new perspective. So you're going to turn "I'm not an expert" into "I'm ahead of my audience," even if it's just by a few steps, because you don't need to be the expert, you just need to become the guide. And you're going to go from "no one cares" to "the people that you're meant to be helping are still finding you, but they do exist. You just need to figure out what content they enjoy watching and the real problems that they're facing, and create engaging content that gives them solutions to the problems that they're facing." And then you're going to go from "I don't know that much about my skill" to "I can teach from where I am right now." But here's the next trap that most creators fall into. They know something valuable, but no one else sees it because they haven't repositioned their value in a way that makes people care. And that's what we fix next with the second R. So to start this section off, let me ask you a few questions. What job are you in right now? What skills are you using daily? Which of those skills do you enjoy the most? How did you learn that skill? How could you help someone just starting that journey? And how could running a YouTube business with that skill look? The reason these questions are so important is because when I first started my first business, I didn't know anything about building optimized websites, but I knew the basics about websites from my 9 to 5. So I picked a specific skill from my day job, learned more about it through doing work for clients, which started off as free work, by the way. And I started studying online and reading books, and then I just got better at it. But the reason I was able to sell my optimized landing pages for hundreds and thousands of pounds with very little credibility is because I was just a few steps of the people that was helping, and without me it had taken weeks, months, or even years to build that page. And that's where these next set of super important questions come in that will help you reposition your knowledge in a way that people will want to work with you. So the first thing that I want you to do is to write down 3 things that you've achieved that you're once dreamed of, 1 skill that you enjoy, have a passion for, and can see yourself turning into a business, 1 transformation you've gone through because of your skill, and 1 person who you think would really benefit from learning about what you know already about that skill and wants to be where you are right now. And once you've repositioned your knowledge, it's time to make sure that your content and your offer both match what people actually want, because if they don't, then you're just going to end up posting into the void without any results. So what I want you to do is start by asking yourself, what does my ideal viewer want right now? And then what have I done that helped me to achieve that? And this gap is what your content and offer should bridge. But how do you package this into something that your audience really wants? Well, that's where restructuring comes in. And to show you how powerful this actually is, let's take a look at Ali Abdaal. When he first started his YouTube channel, he wasn't some productivity guru. He was a junior doctor that taught people how to complete medical courses. But as his channel grew and he learned new productivity systems while studying, he slowly became the productivity YouTuber, which meant he had to restructure his offer and his content from helping people pass medical exams to helping procrastinators get work done more efficiently. Now he generates millions upon millions of pounds per year, which is just an insane difference to what he was making as a doctor. So if your channel's content and offer isn't aligned with the skill that you want to build a business around, then you're missing out on some serious potential. So ask yourself these questions. What's the transformation my viewer actually wants? What steps did I take to get there? How can I deliver those lessons as videos? And how can I package what I've learned as an offer? Now, if you're still unsure about what your audience actually needs or how to find an audience that will actually watch your videos and buy your offer, then click this video right here, where I'll walk you through the exact process that I went through to pivot from a stagnant 9 to 5 to building a YouTube channel that replaced my full-time income.